longer to talk with an accent. So you're trying to hold on to whatever sort of accent you've managed to get for these people while saying all of these words with these flaps that are super crazy. So honestly, that's what it's like working on it. It's great though. I mean, it's irreverent and fun and we all love it. Everybody loves being a part of it. I know they had a super hard time casting it with so many different accents. They had a really hard time finding all the different voices for that show. But I'm so glad I get to be a part of it. I'm so glad. Yes? You want to say a honey line? Yes. You want to do it or you want me to do it? Oh, you want me to do it. Well, so if you don't know, I'm also Honey in Oron, Costa. Yes, which line is it? Well, I'm not sure I totally remember how that goes, but I can totally do it. Imagine that there are flowers floating around my head. Ah, there's an Usa-chan! Usa-chan! Hello! Haruhi. Hi. Thank you. I want cake. Oh, that's too bad. How can you not like cake? It's so good. All right, y'all. Now, see, I get nervous about that sort of thing because, you know, I am an actor who, I don't know, not a lot of my characters I feel like have catchphrases. They're just people. Do it better than I. Here, you go sing it. Thank you. Awesome, Madison. As you noticed on Facebook, I went on the other night and added like 900 people. In one fell swoop. That was a lot of clicking. That was crazy. But yeah, about that, I am happy to do all of that. But like I said, I think a lot of actors get to play roles that have like easy catchphrases and stuff, but I don't feel like I play a lot of those characters. And when I'm in the studio, what I tend to do is walk in, and anybody I work with, they'll tell you this. I'm a person who goes, "What do you want?" "Oh, okay." And I need to match these words to that face. Okay, that's what I can do. That's what I'm really good at. I'm not so good, honestly, at doing funny voices or doing cartoony voices or whatever. Does that sound kind of method? I don't really think I'm method. You're like, but it is kind of. Okay, maybe who knows? Yes. Yes. Thank you. We should all watch more Princess Tutu. Yes. We should all. It's true. Out of all the characters I've done, which one is probably closest to me in personality? I don't know. Certainly probably sound-wise and who I am and all that kind of stuff. Kaname or in Full Metal Panic, or Asuna in Negima is probably a little more, it's what I sound like pretty much. Kind of who I am. Yes, sir? Yes. Oh gosh, okay. So he wants me to tell my brush with hentai. It's a brush. Now, is this the story? There's kind of two. There's a precursor, and the precursor is and forgive me, I grew up nowhere. I didn't know what was what. So when I didn't know what anime was. So when my agency called me to audition for anime at ADV Films, you know, they had an actual audition, which they never do, an agency audition. I thought they meant it was hentai because that's the only anime I had been exposed to up until that point, because I went to college, and you know, college boys in some party are back in a room watching this thing with tentacles. So I promptly told my agent, I was like, I don't know what you think I'm going to do into a microphone, but I'm not going to do that. And they were like, no, they're looking for a 16-year-old girl, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, So it all ended up just fine. In fact, from that job that I got through that, I got Full Metal Panic. So it was more than fortuitous, really. But the story I think you're talking about is we were very shortly thereafter, they were auditioning a show that's pretty blue. Meaning it's pretty racy and there's some stuff in it, there's stuff that goes on. And in the audition, they warn you, the directors tell you, because if you are not into doing that, it is okay for you to say no, right? If you are not into saying certain things or watching certain things or whatever it is for you, violence or whatever, it's totally okay, you don't have to do it. So they had kind of said, it's got this stuff and whatever, and I said, okay, because I was still kind of new, and I didn't want to say no to anything. And the audition, you know, is very little text. But a lot of things like, you know, moans, muffled shriek. I mean, it's just, and I'm standing there, and in the studio at ADV, there's Kyle Jones, who's a dear friend of mine, and the engineer at the time, Matt Whitmire, and they're facing me. They're like where you are. We are that close, and we are facing each other. And I'm trying to do this audition without looking at these people that I know. And they are hiding. They're just hiding because nobody wants to look anybody in the eye. It's so weird. And at the end of it, it turns out apparently after I left, they hung up a sheet in the window. They just hung up a sheet so nobody has to look at anybody. And he did me a favor. He did not cast me as anybody who did anything crazy in that. I think I'm a token something girl in it or whatever. But anyway, that's my couple of brushes with interesting things, I guess. Yes, sir.